My tiger kung fu is better than yours.
Hello again, folks, and welcome to Black Bear Outdoors. Today we've got a very interesting little bullpup rifle for you. And for those of you who don't know what a bullpup is, it basically means it's a configuration of a rifle where the action is behind your trigger group, right? As opposed to a normal configuration where the action is in front of it. Now that allows for the advantages of a full-size rifle barrel in a very short package. This particular one is the T97 Gen 3 from China. And it is the civilian legal version, or the modern sporting rifle version, of the QBZ family of rifles used by the Chinese Army. Now there's a few distinct differences. The QBZ rifles are chambered in a 5.8 by 42 proprietary cartridge, and they are capable of fully automatic fire or select fire. And that pretty much means that when you hold down the trigger, it'll fire all the rounds in its magazine, where the T97 sporting rifle that's available to civilians are all semi-automatic rifles, which means one bullet per trigger pull, and they are chambered in 5.56 NATO. The T97, and correct me if I'm wrong on this down in the comments, is manufactured by a company called EMEI and then distributed by Norinco, which is pretty famous. Now, believe it or not, we won this rifle in the SFRC sticker draw group on Facebook, so check them out if you're feeling lucky. Admittedly, I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to bullpups, because most of my experience in shooting bullpups comes from shooting the Tavor X95, which is arguably the best bullpup on the market. And I wasn't really expecting very much from a Chinese-made rifle that comes in at less than half the price of a Tavor. How good can it really be, right? But honestly, this rifle has really impressed me, and it's really surprised me in a very good way. And in this video, we're going to try and show you why. And especially because the first generation rifles that had those big handles and a reciprocating charging handle at the top had some reports of difficulties with mags not fitting in the mag wells, and you know, some feeding issues and things like that. So what we're going to be doing today, guys, is we're going to be testing all of that. We're going to take it into the table. We're going to take a closer look at the features that it offers, as well as some of the quirks and oddities that it has. And then we'll take it out to the range and see if they actually did fix all the issues in the third generation. We're going to test a bunch of mags through it. We're going to see how well it feeds, and we're going to check out how well it shoots. So stay tuned. Alright folks, now that we've got the T97 on the table, let's take a closer look at what it's got and some of its quirks even. We'll start at the muzzle end and we'll work our way backwards and then flip it on the other side as well. Alright, so the first thing you're going to notice is that it's got a birdcage style flash hider. It's quite a long one, quite a unique looking one. Apparently that's a remnant from the QBZ rifles, where they used to have rifle mounted grenades and things like that. So I think they didn't want to design a brand new one for the T97 sporting rifle. It's probably just cheaper using the same one, so there you have it. The barrel is an 18.6 inch barrel that affords the non-restricted designation here in Canada. And it comes in at overall length just over 32 inches, I believe. You'll notice that it's got an adjustable gas block up there with 3 positions, which is kind of nifty as well. It is a short stroke piston system. So you'll see if you look at the internals that it feels like they borrowed quite heavily from old Mikhail Kalashnikov, if you get my drift. So the polymer lower is a one-piece polymer lower. You can't take the grip off or anything like that. And the upper is aluminum with a monolithic rail on top as well. That replaced the old handle style with the charging handle in the middle of the first generation ones. The only difference I can see between the third generation and the second generation is that it's got M-lock slots on the sides here of the upper, where the second generation one used to have key mods, right? It's got a non-reciprocating charging handle, which will be on the right hand side when you buy this rifle. We've changed ours to the left, we'll show you in a minute. And the nice thing about it being non-reciprocating, it means it doesn't move back and forward when you shoot it, so it's not going to hit you in the fingers, anything like that. It sits dead still. Alright, we'll take a look at the trigger in a minute as well. So the monolithic rail is quite useful because you can put any kind of optic on there that you like. We've got a little Bushnell TRS-25 3 MOA red dot on there, and for the distances we plan on using this rifle for, that's perfect. It does come with some flip-up sights as well that are adjustable, a peep sight in the back there, and a kind of a pin in the front, or a post in the front. But I haven't used those, and if I do plan on using iron sights on this, I'll probably put some Magpul M-Bus on it because they're simple and I know they work, right? Alright, so moving back here, this is one of the things that was a bit of a complaint with the first generations. It's the mag release is this little button right here, and that was the only mag release, so you'd have to get into an awkward position with the rifle to kind of release the mag on the right hand side, right? But I suppose with the charging handle on the right, if you want to operate it like an AK, you could, right? And they have now changed that, so there's one on the other side which we'll show you in a sec also. You'll notice that it doesn't look like it has a shell deflector here, but I don't think it needs it. You'll notice when we go to the range with this thing ejects and fires out spent brass at a 2 o'clock angle at a pace you wouldn't believe. It flings it out there. Alright, like with any bullpup rifle, it's a non-adjustable stock which is integrated, and you'll notice that this one dips a bit lower in the middle here, and that's actually quite useful because you can mount your optics a little bit lower as well, so you don't have this really high sitting optic above the bore. Alright, let's flip her over. So on the other side of the rifle, you'll notice here's our non-reciprocating charging handle that we moved. It is a polymer one, but it feels quite sturdy. And you do get metal aftermarket ones if you want to change that, if that bothers you. It doesn't bother me. The action is pretty smooth. Just so you know, the rifle has been cleared and all the directions we're manipulating in has been cleared safe as well, so don't worry about that. And let's take a look at the trigger pull. Now here's the weird thing, because bullpup triggers are usually pretty bad, because they have a trigger bar that goes back to the action, and it's never going to be as nice as the Geisley we have on our Maccabee, for example. This one is also pretty sloppy and stuff. However, I don't mind it because it's so super smooth. You'll see what I mean. Look at this, right? So it's, I hope you can see the trigger pull. So it's got a lot of uptake there, and boop, all of a sudden you got a kind of a nice smooth pull there. The reset is pretty long, but very smooth pull. So for me, I honestly don't mind it. It's actually a strangely intuitive pull, if that makes sense. It kind of, you know when it's going to break, which is nice. So that's one thing for me with triggers. It looks like I'm becoming less of a trigger snob, but as long as it's a predictable break, I'm usually quite okay with it. Alright, so at the back here, you'll notice this is the other side where the mag release is. It's kind of a bar type. If you push it down like that, it will release the mag, and that works, so no problem there. Here's a bit of a quirk of the rifle though. The safety selector is right at the back here on the stock, which is weird. That would be fire, that would be safe. Kind of a weird thing, but apparently on the QBZ rifles they've moved it forward like a normal person would. However, for the T97s they kept it back there. I suppose it's a cost saving thing again. It's not a big deal, but it's kind of strange, you know, it's just something to get used to. You'll also notice that it's got some sling attachments, one at the back here and one at the front there. It's for those little hook type slings. If you want to sling it, you can do that. So yeah, it's a pretty basic rifle, guys. Nothing too spectacular about it. But what we're going to do is we're going to take it out to the range and see if it meets the most important requirements. Is it reliable? Is it accurate? And does it shoot well? So yeah, let's head out there and see what it does. Stay tuned. Alright folks, welcome to the range, and we're going to be getting right into the testing of the magazines with this rifle. So the ammo that we're going to be using today is going to be Remington Freedom Bucket 223, and yeah, let's get to it. First up, we're going to test the GI mag that it came with and see how well it functions. Magazine seats perfectly. Action feels really, really smooth. So yeah, let's get to it. Yeah, no problems with our first magazine. GI mag works fine. Next up, we're going to the Lancer Advanced Warfighter mag. Let's see how that runs. That one did not lock open, but ran fine. Next up, guys, we're going to try the LAR pistol mag, and this one has an extended base plate on it. Notice though the ejection, how this thing fires spent brass at a 2 o'clock angle really fast. Seats perfectly, smooth action, here we go. Perfect, locks open as well. Next up we have a P-mag. Now this one's little rivet is a little bit too big, so it's notorious for getting stuck in all kinds of rifles. Let's see if this works. Seats perfectly. Locks open as well. No problem so far. The last mag we got for you is a cross indices cross mag. It's the two that attaches with a coupler like that. These are also pistol mags. So we're going to shoot a couple of rounds, then flip it over and shoot a couple more. Perfect, no problems there. So yeah guys, all in all, what a great shooting little rifle. Like I said, the trigger is nice and smooth. It's still going to be a bullpup trigger. A few things that I really like about this rifle, and dare I say it more than the Tavor, is that it seems to be seating mags on a closed bolt consistently well. The action feels smooth and light, it's lightweight, and of course it's cost. And the last thing, but not the least, it seems to not open up its group so much when the barrel gets hot. We'll still do a proper accuracy test with it at some point. We've just been using like a 3 MI dot today. And yeah, stay tuned for that too. I can see the utility of this. It's going to be a fantastic gun for farmers on the range, for example, with a nice little short package for predator control and so forth. This is great for a truck or a tractor. Yeah, what an excellent little rifle. Very surprised by the quality of it. 100% reliable so far. No problems feeding or seating mags or anything like that. And yeah guys, I'm pretty happy and pretty impressed. So guys, if you enjoyed our video, please give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button on the next page, and leave us a comment. You can also become a patron if you like on the next page. There'll be a link to it. And share it with your friends and social media. Well, you guys stay safe, and we'll see you next time.